Hello everyone. If you are joining me for the first time, this is Ramzy Baroud with the Palestinian View. Today we will try to answer an important question. Will the United Nations finally deliver justice for Palestine? But before we start, please make sure that you do not miss our future content by subscribing and hitting the bell. This way you get notified anytime we post a new video. In his anticipated speech at the United Nations General Assembly scheduled for September 23, Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas is expected to once more make a passionate plea for the recognition of Palestine as a full member of the United Nations. Abbas's so-called landmark speech would not be the first time that the president of the Palestinian Authority has lobbied for such a status. But in some ways, Resolution 67/19 proved to be indeed symbolic, as it altered nothing on the ground. To the contrary, the Israeli occupation has worsened since then. Let's look at some numbers. Moreover, much of the occupied Palestinian West Bank is being actively annexed to Israel, a process that initiated a slow but systematic campaign of expulsion, which is felt from occupied East Jerusalem to Masafir Yatta in the South Hebron Hills. Proponents of Abbas's diplomacy, however, cite such facts as the admission of Palestine into over 100 international treaties, organizations, and conventions. The Palestinian strategy seems to be predicated on achieving full sovereignty status at the UN, so that Israel will then be recognized as an occupier, not merely of Palestinian territories, but of an actual state. Israel and its allies in Washington and other Western capitals understand this well. Thus, their constant mobilization against those Palestinian efforts. Considering the dozens of times Washington has used its veto power at the UN Security Council to shield Israel, the use of veto is also likely should Palestinians return to the UNSC with their full membership application. Abbas's international diplomacy, however, seems to lack a national component. The 87-year-old Palestinian leader is hardly popular with his own people. Among the reasons that resulted in his lack of support, aside from the PA's endemic corruption, is his authority's continued so-called security coordinations with the very Israeli occupation that Abbas rages against in his annual UN speeches. Such a major contradiction has taught Palestinians to lower their expectations regarding their leaders' promises of full independence, albeit symbolic. But the contradictions did not start with Abbas and the PA, and certainly do not end with them. Palestine's relationship with the world's largest international institution is marred with contradictions. Although the geographic and demographic makeup of the UN has vastly changed since Israel was admitted to the international body in 1949, real power continues to be concentrated in the hands of former Western colonial regimes, which, in addition to the US, include Britain and France. These three countries represent the majority of the UNSC's permanent members. Their political, military, and other forms of support for Israel remain as strong as ever. Until the power distribution at the UN reflects the true democratic wishes of the world's population, Palestinians are deemed to remain hostage to the American veto. Even Abbas's fiery speeches at the United Nations will not alter this. But will the UN's current power paradigm allow it to finally correct this historic misstep by providing Palestinians with long-delayed justice and freedom? And if not, will the global geopolitical changes underway present an opening for Palestinians that will eventually allow them to challenge American dominance? What do you think? Please share your thoughts and comments below. If you like this video, please visit our website PalestineChronicle.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media platforms. Till next time, this was Ramzy Baroud with the Palestinian View.